Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so very much for standing with us today in solidarity with Mayors Against Illegal Guns, the Wear Orange campaign, and our gun violence initiative in recognizing today, June 2nd, as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of York. We want to thank our elected officials that are with us today. I know we have a Representative Hill Evans's office. Jada is here. Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Henry Nixon is back there. Councilwoman Judy Ritter Dixon is here. You'll hear from her a little later. We also want to thank all of our other partners who are with us here today. The York County Community Foundation, our friends at the York Bar Association, the DA's office, and a special thank you to our clergy. We have with us today a couple friends of our community who have been working alongside our police department in all sorts of capacity. We really appreciate them. Dr. Walhauer and Reverend Mike Jefferson is with us as well. And thank you to all my friends behind me, particularly Jim Tice and the members of our gun violence initiative that are represented. We are here today and stand together today as we continue to fight against gun violence in our community through our strategic and common sense approach, the gun violence initiative. And most importantly, again, thank you to our community, those personally affected by gun violence and those actively taking a stand and sharing the message that the unfortunate occurrences of gun violence in our community must end. Standing in solidarity to say not one more child, not one more grandchild, son, daughter, mother, or family member shall be lost at the hands of senseless gun violence in our community is what we are doing today. This day, June 2nd, marks the third year of National Gun Violence Awareness Day and the Wear Orange campaign, and the second year that we are highlighting this extremely important initiative here in our city. It was inspired by a group of Chicago teenagers, if you will, that asked their classmates to commemorate the life of their murdered friend, Hattie Pendleton, by wearing orange. The color hunters wear to protect themselves in the woods while hunting. June 2nd is actually Hattie's birthday, to which she would have turned 20 years old today, a mere 20 years of living on this earth. So National Gun Violence Awareness Day is a day to honor the life of Hattie, as well as the lives of more than 90 Americans that have been killed by senseless acts of gun violence every day, and the hundreds more who are injured and survive by wearing our orange, if you will, to inspire others in believing that so much more can be done to save lives from gun violence by actively becoming involved with our community with more than 100 nonprofit partners that participate in the Wear Orange campaign, as well as, again, our partners and organizations in our community. So we know that it's not one solution that will or that can put an end to the crisis in our community and communities across America, but we do know that working together, we can bring together the right resources to bring safety, health, and peace back to our city. So I encourage us as a community to continue the message to those individuals that we know are involved in any gun violence activity, that we want them safe. We want to see them alive, and we want to see them out of prison. So as a community, we will not stand for another life lost too soon to these senseless acts of gun violence. As you've heard me say before, enough is enough, and I'm saying it again today. Enough is enough. So thank you for being here today. We'll now ask Chief Kelly to come up and say a few words as well. Chief.
Morning. I just would like to take the moment to thank the community that's been great the last several months of working with our group violence intervention strategy. We've been gaining a lot of support. We need the community to come out and help us in everything that we do. We need to partner. Gun violence is something that's tragic that affects not only the city of York, but most urban areas across the United States. And it's something that we need to get a hold of. It's something we need to change. I want to thank our men and women of our police department that work every day diligently out there, putting their lives at risk, taking illegal guns off the street. And I think that's one of the most important things to bring up is illegal guns. We're not out here targeting lawful gun owners. We're out here targeting people that are using guns illegally, that are using them criminally. And we want to make sure that we reduce the violence in our city. Our gun violence initiative, as the mayor mentioned, has been making great strides in building relationships and working with people in helping to reduce our gun violence. And I'll knock on wood, the mayor knows I'm very superstitious about saying those things, but we're having a very positive effect. It's a great program. It's not a program, it's an initiative, Jim, strategy, and it's ongoing for a very long time. As the mayor mentioned, I'm going to finish with what we always say. We want everyone safe, we want them out of jail, and we want them to be viable members of our community. We want to help you if you'll let us, but we're also going to stop you if you make us do that. We're going to put an end to this one way or another. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We'll have Councilwoman Judy Ritter Dixon to come up and say a few words too. Many of you know Judy Ritter from our Dixon from our community, a bit of an advocate, if you will. She's also a minister, and unfortunately has seen her share of victims who have succumbed to gun violence by attending to many of the family members during funerals, etc. So, Councilwoman Ritter Dixon, we're putting you on the spot today, ma'am. Come on up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. On last Sunday, I had the opportunity to be in a photo shoot with the women, the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunts who lost their children to gun violence. And it is important that we as a community come together as a collective body and work with our administration, with our mayor, with the chief of police to ensure that this stops. It has to stop. And we see it, we know what's going on. It's time for us to open up and start talking about it or reporting it so that this can stop. I saw the pain in the mother's eyes, even if it was 20 years ago. That pain is still real and it's still there. So I ask you all in the community, if you see it and you know it, please report it. Thank you.
Again, a lot of partners are here with us today. Many are from our Community Services Division, our folks that work with people in the community alongside our police department. Can't leave them out. Lieutenant Fells and Jackie, Miss Jerry, Miss Brenda, all of them trying to make sure we have an engaged community with our police department as well too. And I'm loving seeing all the city staff that came outside, and you're orange as well too. Appreciate everybody who decided to participate in this initiative today. Again, it is very important that the community embrace this and do something about it. So thank you all for coming out today. Obviously the chief and I can stand around and answer any questions the media might have, but we do appreciate your support, and please, 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 to our community, the same message that you heard today from me. Enough is enough, and we're going to help you if you will help yourself. Thank you.